Critical Legal Studies, also abbreviated as CLS. It is also known as Critical Legal Theory. I would like to begin by giving you the preliminaries for this video lecture. Number 1, it is going to be based on questions and answers methodology. Number 2, it is going to sample up some practices in the schools of law or the knowledge of law from the academic perspective, but it will also get into the discussions of some analysis of cases and legal realism and legal pragmatism as we see it in the 21st century. What is the critical legal studies? Number 1, it is a legal theory that upholds the belief that judges or the courts usually do not decide cases based on law, on clear jurisprudence, and on case law. However, they do decide cases based on their own experience, and this makes such cases be decided in a way that is biased and influenced by political powers, by religious beliefs, and by the background of the judge. Where has CLS started from as a movement? Historically, CLS is the most recent branch of jurisprudence known to us as critical jurisprudence. It all started in the Western legal scholarship, in which in the United States of America, legal scholars and other scholars came up with a movement known as Critical Legal Studies Movement. The movement emerged especially in mid-1970s. And why in the mid-1970s? In both thinking and practice of law, and this emerged in the United States of America, Harvard University Law School, and law professors and scholars of the time, together with other universities, Yale University, Stanford University, including many other universities in which professors of law and other professors, especially from political science, came up together to form part of this great movement that brought a lot of criticism and radicalism in the area of the legal studies and the knowledge of law in the Anglo-American jurisdiction, in which in the United Kingdom, the School of Oriental and African Studies started vigorously to come up with conferences and debates that were published around different thematic areas in which law is seen to be influenced by certain events in human history and the realities of the world. In the United Kingdom, the major interest is based on the post-colonial reality of the world and how This affects law, neocolonialism, issues of discrimination, issues of gender. But in the United States of America, the movement was so much influenced by the after-war reality, the Second World War, that shifted dramatically and significantly the thinking about law, the belief in the jurisprudence, and the practice in its totality. Three major movements were already in existence. First, feminism movement. Second, after-war movement known as anti-war movement. And third, the civil rights movement. By this important historical background, we can say that critical jurisprudence is a creature that we can relate to the entire study of jurisprudence known as Jurisprudentia Generalis in its totality, in its history. Which reading material I do recommend to you right now on the very topic? One of the best books I've read about critical legal studies was published in 1998 by Professor Ian Ward from Dundee University. The book was published in UK as well as in Australia. Professor Ian, in his book under the title An Introduction to Critical Legal Theory, begins in earnest by admitting the following. First, law does not operate along one shared theory, but it is a conglomeration of different theories, and this again compounds the entire critical jurisprudence in which law scholars admit that the approach to the knowledge of law and the approach to the practice of law should not be seen through one lens as a discipline, but through various lenses of various disciplines. The reason to this is law is a creature of human culture and a product of human civilizations. It is a product of different events in human history and knowledge from various horizons of sciences. It is part and parcel of sociology as a science. It is also a part of political science. It's a part of moral philosophy and the entire philosophy. It's a part of anthropology. It's a part of our human history and the history of the world. It is also a part of psychology and a part of our social reality and relationship that is compounded by various political ideologies. CLS scholars perpetuate legal scholarship by applying legal methodology, the methods of law in analysis, in the understanding of the jurisprudence of legal realism, the practices that we see only in the judiciary, that is the work of the court, the arguments by litigants, by advocates, and what the judge decides in court and judge's opinion in his role as adjudicator is what defines in totality the outcome of the critical legal studies. And that gives the law, as we look at it, the entire empire of science, of being empirical and being a positive science. I want to thank you for having been here. I want to thank you for watching this platform. I want also to urge you to share the content of this video with the people you trust and love, and especially those who are most in need of quality knowledge about law and justice system. Thank you and bye.